Hi, everybody. Tim Lotzenheiser here. Got a special guest. In 1982, there was a young man that drove with me from Chicago to Kansas City to do a little teaching. Very young man. And now that man is part of us. He's part of Conselmer. I can go on with the accolades forever about Frank Troyka. But one of the hot ones is he was the 2019 Texas Bandmaster of the Year from the Texas Bandmasters Association. I'm not sure you can get any greater honor than that, plus all the rest of his accolades. So, Frank Troyka, tell us what's going on in Dallas, Texas.
You know, it's kind of funny, Tim, but I think what's going on in Dallas, Texas is pretty much the same thing that's going on everywhere else in the country right now. You know, in spite of all of this distancing, it's given me an opportunity to connect with some people that I would have been able to otherwise, simply because I've actually discovered the practicality and well, actually the joy of video conferencing. You know, I spend a little bit more time on my screen than I might like, but it sure has enabled me to do some things that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So I'm a happy guy.
Frank, how long have you been part of the Consumer family?
Well, let's see. I've been doing CSI for only 9 years, so I'm kind of a youngin' when it comes to that. But as far as my involvement in summer, it's got to be going on 15 years or so. It's been quite a while. So yeah, something I'm pretty proud of, to be honest with you.
Well, we're proud of having you there. You're a key member. Listen, we know you're in charge of the college division. Tell us a little bit about that and what those people can expect.
You know, the whole collegiate track is really what Consumer Institute is all about. It was founded originally, as you know, because you are the founder. It was the Consumer University way back when. And the idea was to fill in the gaps for the things that college students couldn't really get as part of their formal education, those things that only the real world experience can teach you. So you brought people in to share their experiences, their stories, their background, so that the college students didn't have to make some of the mistakes we made along the way. And that's really what drives the whole collegiate track, is trying to help these young teachers avoid some of the mistakes that are unnecessary along the way. So we offer a lot of workshops and clinics that are very practical. And you know, I'm adjunct faculty at a couple of universities now, and so I have a great sensitivity to what we attempt to do in the college classroom, but you just can't do it all. And this is a great way of filling in those gaps.
You know, in addition to all the things you do, I know, Frank, that you stay in touch with those people after the event and you're there with them and you can counsel them and you're a mentor all the way around. That doesn't happen with the other segments of the whole array of production. So tell us, why do you do that? You don't have to do that. Why do you do it?
Tim, you alluded to it a little while ago when you mentioned back in '82 when you took me on the road with you. There are so many people that were in my formative years that opened doors for me and gave me opportunities, not because I had any real talent or any experience or any information. I just had an intense desire to do what they were doing. I wanted to be like my mentors and my role models. And had it not been for those people who ushered me through, who kind of put a safety net underneath me, I'm not sure what I'd be doing. So I look at this as an opportunity to give back as well as pay it forward for these students. So one of the greatest joys I have is when I get emails or phone calls or text messages from former CSI collegiate attendees who are asking me practical questions about, okay, I'm in the classroom now. Can you review for me what we talked about at CSI? Because all of a sudden now, there's real immediate relevance and an immediate need for that information. So I'm happy to do that because, you know, it's like reading a book about how to fly a plane. That's not the same as getting in the cockpit. And even the simulator can only go so far. Once you're in front of those kids and they're looking at you, it's a different world. And that's what this is all about, is being there when the time really comes.
Yeah. Well, and you do a great job of it, buddy. You know that. It's Consumer Institute Connect is going to be a little different than Console has been. So tell us about, if you were a college student now, or a band director, a string teacher, and a music administrator, would you spend 2 days sitting in front of the computer?
Show me somebody who's not sitting in front of a screen constantly, at this point, because it's how we connect socially, it's how we connect educationally, entertainment wise. I mean, you can look at it as CSI Connect, you can look at it like it's 2 days of professional development, or you can look at it like it's 2 days of binge watching a great engaging episode or series. Instead of Breaking Bad, it's Breaking Band. So just plant yourself in front of that screen and enjoy 2 days of guiltless binge watching.
That's great. Tell us about the faculty you're going to be working with. What are your thoughts about those folks?
Well, something I learned early on in my career is you surround yourself with the best people you can find and to get the heck out of their way. And that's kind of what we've got at CSI. So I've got people like Paula Kreider and Richard Saucedo, Alfred Watkins, Franklin Willis doing presentations for the collegiate track, sharing their diverse experiences to again, help these college students avoid some of the mistakes and the failure paths we took early on. So yeah, it's really direct access to the who's who in our profession. I know that we hear that a lot, but it's really true. And I'm contemporaries of the people I just met, but I learn from them all the time. In fact, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, we had the CSI marching workshop. And I attended that just like an attendee. I was not signed up for it as a presenter. I was there to learn. And I was just blown away by what I learned from people who really were quite a bit younger than I was. Just really rejuvenated me about the possibilities for marching band, even in the current climate. So when I think about what's going to happen at CSI and specifically the collegiate track, I just think it's such an opportunity for such a low investment. I don't mean financial investment. I mean low investment of time and energy to get this incredible return. If for nothing else, just the connections, because every single person that these college students are going to encounter will be available to them just as I am, because it's about building relationships. This is not a one and done experience. This is about the start of something we want to be long term. And Tim, I'm in touch now with people that I worked with from the very beginning with CSI, from 2012, that we're still in touch today. And I'm so proud to have helped them navigate those interviews for their first job, which is one of the things we're going to cover at CSI Connect. We're going to work on how to approach constructing a resume and a cover letter that are going to get read, how to handle yourself in an interview. We're going to look at how to flip that switch from going from being a student, which is all these college kids have ever known, is they've been a student their whole lives. Now, all of a sudden, whether it's student teaching or their first job, that switch flips, and now they're on the other side of that table, and they've got to be the teacher. So we're going to work on how to navigate some of those things. Richard Saucedo is going to share some of his common mistakes that young teachers make in teaching an ensemble. So it's all just real practical nuts and bolts information.
Well, if I were doing it again, I would run to that session. Yeah. Not only to be with you, but to be with everybody else. Frank, we're so proud that you're one of our senior consultants. You're the A-team person. You're on that group, and you continue to. When I'm with you, I walk away and I go, I like myself better when I'm around Frank Troyka. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. We'll look forward to seeing all the people who are watching this there. Don't miss it. It's going to be the greatest show on earth. I love you.
It is, Tim. Thanks so much, Tim. See you at CSI Connect.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.